Hey there everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Orme and today we're back playing some Starters Order 6 on our flat schedule, the Started mod game. So we're here at Rascalicious Farms. We've got a few races lined up today. We've got our 3-year-olds having a run out after their performances in the Triple Crown races. We're about mid-season now, we're about to jump into August. So there aren't too many big races that I really target left, if that makes sense. There's a couple in Dubai normally every year that I go for if I've got horses around the mile mark. That's usually a sprint sort of a sprint career that I look at for Dubai. If I got a nice sprinter, we line them up for Dubai. If we got between a mile and a half, we go after the Triple Crown, which is what my 3-year-olds turned out to be. So I'm not sure what else is going to come up soon. We do have the Arlington Million, which Endless Shadow should be running in. But as well as those, we do have Brave Border running in an allowance race over a mile. So that's what we got lined up today. Things are going quite well in the save. We got tons of horses coming through the breeding barn. We're retiring horses from the breeding barn. I'm going to try and reduce that down a little bit just to make sure that we're not, producing so many horses, because we don't need the money and we're just producing so many identical 2-year-olds. Most of them don't have finished application at the moment. There's not going to be too much difference in between their sort of bred distances, battling quality, cruising burst, that kind of thing. There are with some of the horses, but others look very, very similar. So, it's time to stop breeding in bulk. We really don't need to anymore. So, I think I'm going to try and cut down on that and not get swamped so much every season in this save. Instead, we can concentrate on a few good horses every year and just see how they turn out. So quality now rather than quantity. We're over that hump. So let's go and get things underway for today's video with our first race of the video. So where are we gonna be? I'm always a little bit scared that I'm going to skip the race. I've done it, you've seen me do it a ton of times. An absolute ton. So it's the 1 mile 1 furlong Haskell Invitational. It is a grade 1 race. And Sweet Treats is not fancied for it, despite being joint top rating with Texas Brown. Now I know we can beat Texas Brown. I know we can beat Polish Times, Boston Fox, Park Lane. We know these horses. We do. Just Wonder is a great horse, we know that. And Winkle Hidden looks like another very, very good horse. But Sweet Treats, over this kind of distance, did win the Preakness. And we beat these horses. We beat Texas Brown and Polish Times there. In the Derby, which is a little bit further, they kind of came along, but you can see like Park Lane, Gazelle, Just Wonder actually finished at the back there. We know that we can do it against these horses. So I think we're quite low rated here by the bookies, and we're actually going to lengthen out a little bit. So not being given a lot of respect there, I feel, but okay. Interesting. If I was a betting man, and again, we don't need the money, so I didn't do it there, but I would bet heavily on our horse in this race. So let's just go straight in a little bit here, and we can see that's a good start from us out into the middle. Near the front, Just Wonder there leading us out. And now Winkle Hidden's moving up as well. Those are the two really, really good horses. We cross the finish line and 7.5 furlongs, just over a lap of the track to this race. You can see we're still competing there quite well. Let's go down to the back and see Gijau, Polish Times, and Sambuca on Ice are there towards the back. Ventura Spirit, and there's Texas Brown. Then Park Lane, Boston Fox, Proud Accolade there, with Winkle hidden on the inside of us and Richly Blended on the outside. Sweet Treats, I feel, is in good position right now. 5 furlongs here along the back stretch. Just Wonders gained the lead by a little bit, but Richly Blended is going up to join them. Here comes Proud Accolade, and as well Boston Fox and Park Lane joining the group. So things are going quite nicely at the moment. It is a little distance back though. You can see there the back 5 not really in this race, not yet. So 3 furlongs, we're starting to make a move round the outside. 2.5 furlongs down to 2 as we come around this final turn, and we're gonna go for it. We'll see who else joins in as we go. We come down to 1 furlong. We're gonna battle Just Wonder for the lead at the 1 furlong marker. We just get ahead. It looks there like Polish Times is making a late charge up. Probably not going to be able to get more than third. And we will just edge out Just Wonder. And Sweet Treats opens us up with a win, as I expected. A little bit closer than I expected, I've got to admit that. I know Just Wonder is a fantastic horse. Didn't run very well in the Preakness, and had a bit of a shaky run after that, but it is an absolutely fantastic horse. But Sweet Treats wins the Haskell. Excellent with a horse. Distance ideal. Go for the Travers Stakes. So that should bring us back in line with where we want to be with Sweet Treats. So wins the Preakness. The Belmont's just too far. But again, we're back on the Haskell. Nice win. It's won a, look at that, £2 million race there. Or $2 million race, I should say, in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It's $1.5 million for the Preakness and $1 million for Haskells. That's pretty good. Career earnings so far 3.7 nearly. So that's a very, very good return. By far the best earning horse that we have. Just ahead of Gamma Bow, whose record is significantly better. So we'll see what they can do in a grade 2, which is up next. That's just 8 days away. And I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Top right there, we see there's a stable virus. Not the best. We do, though, have quarantine holdings. If any horses do come down with the virus, they shall be quarantined. That should get us through relatively unscathed, hopefully. I don't know, guys. We'll take this day by day, see if anything pops up. Doesn't seem to be so far. Let's head over to the auction. Anything unmissable? Nope. We move on. As always, I'm looking for a grade 1 winner that's won multiple grade 1s. And is not a gelding. Because ultimately, if I get a horse that's running well and winning races, I want to be able to breed from them. So, it looks like the stable virus is not affecting us right now. I can't see any status differences or anything like that. Let's just see. Yep, nope. That all looks good to me, so let's head on then. Where do we go in? Saratoga, I believe, for this one. Grade 2. Yes, the Wire. So, we're not going to be favourite. Interesting. I don't know why that is. But okay, we are going to be top rated anyway, so that's going to be something. So, let's go and find out where Gamma Bow's running. Here we go, the 1 mile, 4 furlong Wire. We are taking a step down in terms of quality, which is interesting. Mother Jones in that gold and black does seem to be the favourite, so we do overtake her by the time it comes to post though. So we will be leading this race as favourite. You can see Mother Jones there, just a couple of positions inside us. And yeah, not a great start, but again, we do like to go off at the back. We know that Gamma Bow is a little bit of a closer. So let's just look through the field now as we start to coalesce. Nice looking track this, I've got to say. It's nice to have like bushes around the edges instead of just fences. I like it. I do like it. So 9.5 furlongs to run here. Gamma Bow at the back with Far and Deep. Acting Deputy up the inside of White Cat, and Smart Timing just ahead of them, all being led out by Connecticut. In third place is Treasure Beach, just on the heels of Radiantly, and that is being sort of left behind a tiny bit at the moment by Mother Jones. So it looks like Mother Jones is a front runner, heavily backed by the bookies, of course, only just overtaken by our horse, who's currently in last place. So we've got another lap of this circuit to go. And we're just starting to move up now on the inside there. 6.5 furlongs. Cresting round this turn now. About to hit the back straight. So I'll try and keep most of the horses in camera shot where possible. Until the finish, of course, where we'll zoom in on the front. But it looks like Mother Jones still not being really challenged here at the front. Treasure Beach and Radiantly there with White Cat acting Deputy. Far and Deep, Smart Timing, Connecticut, and ourselves, of course, Gamma Bow, a little bit detached right now. But that should start to change now. 3.5 furlongs. We should see some of these horses starting to move up, and Far and Deep is the first to do so. 3 furlongs. This is where I normally like my horses to make their move. 2.5 if we haven't moved by now, then it's probably not going to come to fruition. We are making a run around the outside. And now as we approach 1.5 furlongs, we're going to focus now on the leaders. Mother Jones is well away from Far and Deep. Treasure Beach there in third. We are moving up the order, but I'm not sure we have enough. Are we going to be able to do anything in this race? We're not even up into third right now. Treasure Beach is going to go and challenge. Mother Jones just loses it on the line. Too Far and Deep. Treasure Beach in third. And Gamma Bow, a very disappointing fourth. Highly disappointing. At least we're in the money, but you know, that just wasn't just wasn't what I wanted. Held up towards the rear. Yeah, we were on the inside and behind, and there was a group of 4 or 5 in front of us, so there wasn't much room to actually move up. I felt that we didn't make our move until late anyway, which might suit the horses running, but I never like to see that. I'd always like them to move up into position earlier rather than later. Always come round the outside when you're moving into position, and then you've got a good chance of not being blocked off or hemmed in against the rail. You can just fire when you're ready to go and challenge at the line. So we didn't get that done. Not close at all. I'm a little bit disappointed. Well, too far? Okay. Maybe Gamma Bow is a mile 3, but she did win the Belmont, which, you know, led me to believe that a mile 4 would be within her wheelhouse. Perhaps not. We will take that on board for next time. That does mitigate a little bit of the performance. I do understand that. A little bit boxed in, not really at distance. Okay. Okay, that's a learning lesson, but still, that's not a bad record this season. 2 wins, 2 seconds, a third, and a fourth. You know, nearly up to 2 million in prize money, just a little over 1.9 right now. Most of that this season. In fact, more money this season than Sweet Treats. An identical sort of 2 out of 6 wins. You know, 2 wins out of 6 races this season. Pretty good. Pretty good. Turning out a little bit better than I expected, Gamma Bow there, but I was really hoping that she could do something at a mile 4 to try and spread out the distances my horses are running. But a mile 3 might be far enough, because I think we got a mile 1, a mile 2, and a mile 3 in that case. So, we'll see. We will see. I don't know if the stable virus was actually affecting horses. I'd assume it would be on the status somewhere, rather than just be in the background, sort of taking a little bit of performance out of the horse. I haven't had it that often, so I couldn't really say. But that's kind of what I'd think it would be on there anyway. So, Brave Border here, only a field of 5, so that's going to be at least a chance to earn money. He stays second favourite behind Fulford. Fulford won a maiden at 6 furlongs, but okay. They got 3 mile allowances in their future. There's a couple there for Arch Traveller. Upturn, okay. And Speedy Sandy, not really going to have a good day here. I think is a little bit agitated. And, yeah, hasn't really done too much to date anyway. We will be a little bit higher weight than anybody else, which is to be expected. You know, we are by far the best horse in this field. So let's go and see, can Brave Border get us back on the winning trail after Sweet Treats opened up with a win? Gamabo not really at her best in that second race, but Brave Border now has a chance to put that right and get off to a good start here, which he does, and then has to be held up a little bit because he is not a front runner. He does not like to lead out races. So an excellent start, but has to be reined in by the jockey there. So Fulford and Upturn are at the rear of the field. Arch Traveller and Speedy Sandy now have gone well ahead, and pretty much directly in the middle is Brave Border. We've got 5 furlongs to go here. So we should start to see a couple of horses making their moves as we approach the end of this back stretch. And then as we come around the turn, we'll see who really wants to come into this. So you can see there are 4 furlongs. We're already up towards second place. We're just holding that position now. 3 furlongs. And as this turn ends, we should see ourselves making a move for that lead. We're on the outside of Arch Traveller. We are going to leave them behind. Upturn and Fulford seem to be coming a little bit at the rear. But Speedy Sandy, there we go, 1.5 furlongs. And we are out in the lead. Speedy Sandy's going to make a little challenge for it. Arch Traveller is going to come past them. And it looks like Fulford has got a great head of steam. But I don't think they'll have enough to catch us. They're really making a case for it. Fulford looks to be a really nice horse. We're eased off just a little bit. Fulford in second, Upturn in third, but Brave Border wins comfortably as expected and as hoped, I've got to say. So 18,000 prize money. It's another win. That's 3 wins in a second for Brave Border. Was that on distance? I believe it was. Great stuff. So we have got that one right. Okay, Breeding Barn. We've got a success for 2 of our horses. Let's just skip the auction. I was going to go to the auction, but there hasn't really been anything lately. So I don't know why we'd need to. Never know if any of these horses are actually going to be any good, so just randomly breed a few and see. And if they do come through as good horses in a couple of years' time, then there's a possibility that the mare is going to still be about. So where are we here? Last race of the day? No? Am I missing myself? Last race of the day at Arlington. I thought we were selecting on Arlington, but apparently not. So yeah, this is another race where I think we should win, but I can understand giving our last 4 performances. Only 1 win this season. If you look at Endless Shadow, We opened up with a grade 3 win, not even a feature race. And then this season, 3rd in the Derby, 4th in the Preakness, 9th in the Belmont. Couldn't get the win at the Gold Cup. And now we're out once again in the Arlington Million. So this is a chance for Endless Shadow to really get their season back on track. Gamabo's had a good year. Sweet Treats has sort of picked up over the Preakness and that last race there. So Endless Shadow now, this is the chance to get all 3 of my 3-year-olds back to where they should be. So we will see if we can finish off this with a win. We're going to stay 4th favourite behind Denarius, Dead or Alive, and 7 is Lucky. Now, Cobalt Blue, John Paul 2, we know those horses as well. 7 is Lucky, I'm not worried about. It is a high-rated horse, but I'm not really worried about it. I've raced against these before as well, they're nothing to worry about. So, yeah, looking at the field, I mean, for me, personally, it's Dead or Alive. That is the horse to worry about in terms of record, in terms of rating, and just from racing against them before, I know they can do it. Denarius, not really met them before in Grade 1 company, don't know too much about it, don't know why they're favourite, but really I think this would be between us and Dead or Alive. Denarius and 7 is Lucky should battle over the 3rd place. I could be wrong. The tipsters, the bookies, they're looking a different way. But with our record this season, especially the last few races, I can understand why we're being overlooked. So, we've got the black diamonds on orange, we've got the checkerboard green and yellow, and we got the red stripes on white. So let's see. What a bad start for Dead or Alive. Interesting. Now, 9 furlongs, we're settling into a decent position towards the front of the field. Not taking the lead though. We got 7 is Lucky one side of us and Denarius the other. We're going to drop even further back in between Cobalt Blue and Dead or Alive, it seems. John Paul 2 is there, Authorized well out in the lead, nice and early, and towards the back, Bonding and Ringgold. So we see 7 is Lucky running towards the front of the field now as we approach 6.5 furlongs. Authorized just coming back into the lead now, not wanting to give that up too cheaply. We've got nothing in front of us, but we do have things either side of us who could cause us a problem. So 5.5 furlongs now as we start on this long back stretch. Another good looking course. I like the trees and the water there in the middle. Does give the course a little bit of personality, I think, when you have slightly different elements used in each of them. So the back two's still there. And it looks now as we're approaching 3.5 furlongs. Endless Shadow is starting to make a little bit of a move there to get up onto the hindquarters of the other 2 horses. John Paul 2 went up into 4th place. Here comes Cobalt Blue. Denarius is coming with him. We're going round the outside of 7 is Lucky. Less than 2.5 furlongs now, approaching the 2 furlong marker. We're going to be out in the lead as we come around this final turn and onto the home stretch. Who's going to be coming with us? John Paul 2 looks like he wants to make a move. Denarius now looks like they're going to make a little bit of a move as well with Cobalt Blue. We look to be tiring, and this is a tragedy. Endless Shadow. What happened there? We had everything. I think we made a move a furlong too early and we died a furlong from the line. I didn't expect us to get beaten like that, and I certainly didn't believe John Paul 2 was going to win that race. That is a massive surprise to me. That horse had no threat for us. I don't know what happened there. We're lowest weight, we're highest rated apart from Dead or Alive, who we beat. We had it, and we just couldn't fight for the line. I don't know what happened. Try a furlong shorter. Yeah, maybe. But, oh, that gives me 2 horses at a mile 1. And I really like Sweet Treats at a mile 1 right now. So in the shadow, not really showing what they can do. Disappointing way to finish off the video. Gamma Bow and In the Shadow, going into the Triple Crown races and coming out of the Triple Crown races. One was my favourite before, one was my favourite after. Sweet Treats has just sort of slipped on by and now is coming to the forefront. Those two finishing 4th in their races today. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on with these horses. So they give me something to think about. They're not top horses at all. I don't know if I want to breed any of them, to be honest with you. I mean, Sweet Treats has got good potential. You know, good cruising burst there, extra speed. Not great finishing. And not great sort of going or surface adaptability, which kind of puts me off a little bit. Down to In the Shadow, and you know, great potential. Not much else really until you get down to extra speed and finish, but again, not too much in the way of adaptability. And yeah, I think I like Sweet Treats a little bit better than In the Shadow there. And Gamma Bow again, decent, but no real stats to shout out about. So our 3-year-olds probably will not be going into the breeding barn. I might even just retire them and just go with the next crop at the end of this season, because I'm not seeing too much that I need to keep in play, either to win races or to ultimately go into the breeding barn. So we might be saying goodbye to all of our 3-year-olds next season, and that gives us a bit more leeway in what new crop of horses come in, and exactly which of our current 2-year-olds, and of course we've got a bunch in the field as well, when they turn 3, who can really compete for those Triple Crown races, and which of them long term I want to bring into the breeding barn. Now, I know Castile Dreamer is one. As a 2-year-old filly, she's got phenomenal potential. Absolutely phenomenal potential. Good extra speed there, great consistency. She can run on any kind of track, but she will only be a sprinter. And I'm perfectly fine with that, because it's been a while since we had a good sprinter. So Castile Dreamer probably heading out to Dubai and winning those big sort of sprints out there. That's kind of my plan for her. I think it's Wild Retriever, yeah, who's ultimately very similar. You know, runs over a mile, maybe Castile Dreamer, maybe around 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs. But excellent potential, again, good extra speed, phenomenal finish. So between those two, I'm very excited to see what they can do as 3-year-olds, but sadly they're not going to be Triple Crown racing horses. Cresting Queen might be. You know, a little bit of distance adaptability there is nice. You know, she's got some extra speed, finish, going surface, and a chance to get good potential. There's a chance, so there is that one. Hidden Pearl, of course, didn't run too much. That's another no finish application horse, though. Not sure they're going to make it. Wicked Days, yet again, another in that boat. Kathy Star. Not a bad horse, but maybe not got the adaptability or the distance to do all 3 Triple Crown races. Mama's Pride, average looking horse. Respectful Airs, another fairly average looking horse. And Rainby again, another no finish application horse. So I'm not sure we've got a shot at the Triple Crown unless one of these comes up. I mean, Peach Pipe I've got a lot of hope for. a lot of hope. I really, really do, but high deterioration doesn't mean they're going to stay very long on the track. And low confidence, I don't like. Low distance as well means probably not all three, but we may be able to pick one or two of the Triple Crown races. If she hits her 1 mile 3, I'd say the Kentucky Derby and the Belmont. If she goes shorter than that, then probably just the Preakness and the Kentucky Derby. So we'll see what Peach Pipe does. Brave Border, another very average horse. I'm not a huge fan of. Ran well in this race, did win, but again, long term, I don't see much for her. Secret Dawn, no finish application. Superstar is a horse that I really thought, wouldn't even make it this far, if I'm honest. Kept around for the potential. Again, long term, probably not going to make it. So we've got a lot of question marks over these horses. Majestic Maiden as well. Very average stats. And then we're down to Max Stealth, who, probably won't make it either. So let me know in the comment section below which of those horses you like. Who should make it as a 3-year-old? Who do we keep around next season from that batch? We'll have some 2-year-olds. I'm hoping to keep it down to 4 or 6 2-year-olds, and a similar amount of what will be 3-year-olds for next season. I'm probably just retiring the 3-year-olds I already have here. So let me know, have your say in the comment section below. Let me know what's going on. If you do know a little bit about the stable virus as well, am I right that the quarantine has basically nullified it? And it would show up in the status indicators if it did affect the horse. Let me know. Tweet to me at Chris Ormy as well. Keep an eye out there, and you can subscribe to the channel for notifications when new videos are going up and online, so you won't miss out on anything. Until next time though, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Bittersweet episode, couple of wins. Sweet Treats look good, but the two horses I've really liked over the last 2 years probably showing what they should have, what I should have seen long ago. They're not top horses, and slightly disappointing, but hey, we've got some good horses moving forward. We just gotta look to the future. And in the future, I will see you back here for the next video. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves.